Hey everyone. In this video, I'll show you how to set up N8N on Docker inside Ubuntu WSL on Windows and secure it with HTTPS so Google APIs like Gmail work properly. Since localhost on port 5678 can't be used for OAuth, we need a real HTTPS URL. Grok is an option, but it's often slow and unreliable. Cloudflare doesn't give you a permanent free domain unless you own one, but it does provide a free, auto-generated tunnel URL. The important part is, I'll show you how to use that random Cloudflare tunnel URL with Gmail's API using a one-time OAuth setup, so you never have to update your redirect URIs again, even if the tunnel URL changes. First, open Command Prompt as administrator and run the following command. This enables the Windows subsystem for Linux, WSL, feature on your system, which is required to run Ubuntu inside Windows. Next, run this command in Command Prompt as administrator. This command enables the virtual machine platform feature in Windows, which is required for WSL2 and other virtualization tasks. It allows Windows to run Linux as a lightweight virtual machine. After completing these steps, restart your PC. Next, open Command Prompt as a regular user and run WSL. Set default version 2. This sets WSL2 as the default version for any Linux distributions you install. Next step, create the .wslconfig file. Navigate to the folder where you want to create the file, usually your user folder, /users/ your username. Create a new text file and name it exactly. .wslconfig. Open it and paste the following content. You can adjust the values based on your PC specs. What this file does. The .wslconfig file allows you to customize the behavior of WSL2. Memory limits the maximum RAM WSL can use. Processors sets how many CPU cores WSL can use. Swap defines the swap file size. Localhost forwarding ensures that Windows localhost ports are accessible in WSL. Networking mode adjusts network configuration for better compatibility. DNS tunneling helps with DNS resolution inside WSL. Firewall and auto proxy control network security and proxy behavior. Experimental auto memory reclaim equals gradual lets WSL gradually reclaim and used memory, improving performance. This configuration ensures WSL2 runs efficiently and reliably, especially for Docker and N8N setups. After pasting the content, save the .wslconfig file. In the regular command prompt, run WSL install Ubuntu 22.04. What this command does. This command downloads and installs Ubuntu 22.04 inside WSL, setting up a fully functional Linux environment on your Windows machine. After running it, WSL will automatically finish the installation and ask you to create a Linux username and password for your new Ubuntu system. After running the Ubuntu installation, you'll be prompted to create a Linux username. Enter a username as you like. For example, I'm using mine here. Next, you'll be asked to create a password. Enter a strong password. Sometimes WSL has DNS issues that can mess up your network, so we're going to fix it by setting Google's DNS manually. It's simple. Open Ubuntu and type sudo nano /etc/WSL2 to open the configuration file, then add these lines. Boot, systemd equals true, and network. Generate results in F equals false. The first line enables systemd for more stable services and networking, and the second stops WSL from overriding your DNS so we can control it. Once that's done, save with Ctrl+X, press Y, and exit with Enter. Then run sudo rm/etc/resolve.thunf. This removes the current DNS configuration file, which WSL sometimes overwrites automatically. Then, open a new file to edit it. Sudo nano /etc/resolve.sonf, and add these lines. Name server 8.8.8.8. Name server 8.8.4.4. These are Google's public DNS servers, which are fast and reliable. Then run sudo chatter+i/etc/resolve.sonf. This locks the file, preventing WSL from changing it automatically, so your DNS settings stay fixed. Next, we're going to tweak some network settings to improve WSL's performance. Run sudo nano /etc/sysctl.conf. Scroll to the bottom of the file and add these two lines. net.core.rem_max equals 7500000. net.core.mem_max equals 7500000. Then, apply the changes immediately by running sudo sysctl-p. And that's it. Your network settings are now optimized for WSL. Once you've applied all the changes, exit Ubuntu and shut down WSL completely by running WSL shutdown. This ensures all your new settings take effect. After that, start WSL again, open Ubuntu, and then run the next command in your setup. Now, let's update and upgrade Ubuntu. First, run sudo apt update. This command refreshes the list of available packages from the repositories, so your system knows about the latest versions of software. Next, run sudo apt upgrade y. This installs the newest versions of all your packages. Alright, before we install Docker, we need a few essential packages, so run sudo apt install YCA certificates curl nup lsb release. These let your system verify SSL certificates, download files from the internet. Now run sudo install m0755 d/etc/apt/keyrings to create a secure folder for storing the key. Now run curl fssl command. Next, run sudo chmod a plus r/etc/apt/keyrings/docker.gpg to give read permissions to Docker's GPG key. Next, run the command starting with echo to add Docker's repository for your Ubuntu version and system architecture. Now, run sudo apt update to refresh Ubuntu's package list so it knows about the new Docker repository we just added. Now, run the command starting with sudo apt install y same as I did to install Docker and all its required components, including the CLI, container runtime, builds, and Docker Compose plugin. Now run the command starting with sudo usermod ag docker.uscr. This adds your Linux user to the Docker group, so you can run Docker without sudo. After that, restart WSL or log out, and back into Ubuntu for the change to take effect. Now run the command starting with sudo service docker start to start the Docker service so your Docker engine is running and ready to use. Now run the commands starting with Docker version and Docker Compose version to verify Docker and Docker Compose are installed correctly. Now run the command starting with get, just like I did in the video, to download the latest cloudflare.deb file for Linux. Now run the command starting with sudo dpkg exactly as I did to install the Cloudflare package you just downloaded. Now run the command starting with Cloudflare version to check that Cloudflare is installed correctly. Now run the command starting with rm, just like I did, to delete the cloudflare.deb file and clean up. Now run the command starting with nano docker compose.yml to open the file and paste the Docker Compose configuration I'm using. You can find all the commands in my video description. I've set up my Docker Compose to automatically remove all executions after 24 hours and customized it to fit my needs, but you can tweak your own Docker file however you like. I'm using this setup here. Now we'll configure my custom scripts for the entire setup. To start N8N, stop it, restart it, get the random URL where N8N is hosted, and check its status. Just grab all my scripts from the description and paste them here. Then run the commands as I'm doing to make them executable. Follow along step by step. We've finished adding the start script using nano start-n8n.sh. Now, run the chmod command to make it executable so you can run it anytime to start N8N. Now, just keep following along with the rest of the scripts. Everything you need is in the description. Add each script using nano, then make it executable with chmod plus x, just like we did with the start script, until we've set up the entire workflow. And save each file by pressing Ctrl plus X, then Y, and finally enter. Now, run the command starting with docker volume create n8n_data to create a Docker volume where all your n8n data will be stored, since my scripts are set up to use this volume for persistent storage. Finally, run the command starting with /start n8n.sh to actually start your N8N setup and see it in action. For the first time running the start script, this will take a while, so just sit back and watch until it's done. Let's see how it all works out. As you can see, it's given me both the local host and the random URL, so I can access N8N either through the URL or via localhost. You can also access N8N through the random URL, but using it via the HTTP localhost 5678 is even faster. Don't worry, accessing N8N through localhost won't affect APIs like Gmail and Google Cloud, because N8N is still reachable from the Cloudflare URL at the same time. Now, go ahead and set up your Gmail account, password, and the name you'll always use for N8N. Once you're done, you'll notice the random URL appears in the OAuth redirect. The best part is, you only need to set it once in Google Cloud for your APIs to work. Even if you restart N8N and it generates a new URL, your connection with Google Cloud APIs like Gmail won't be affected. The credentials remain valid as long as the initial setup is done. As you can see, the URL is showing up. This is the URL you need to use one time in Google Cloud to set up your connection credentials. That's it for this video. You can find all of the scripts in my Instagram in the description, so make sure to check them out. Thanks for watching and bye.